Well, welcome to a really odd Coop Duck podcast. We decided to do this. We've been a bit sporadic this season, but we decided to do this because we've got nothing else to do because of COVID-19, obviously. And there's nothing else to talk about. But we thought we could ring the tea towel and talk a bit about footy.
We thought we'd join the bandwagon of using this lockdown as an opportunity to boost your social profile.
Yeah.
Your online social profile.
Yeah, exactly. Your background looks a lot cooler than mine, though. You've got like instruments and shit. I've just got a picture and a slightly fogey curtain. But never mind. Never mind. I'm not bothered. I am what I am. I am what I am. So yeah, we thought
you can't really see this picture.
I know the picture,
but the picture is, you know this, but for the viewers, it's a picture of Al Jolson, dressed as a minstrel. So it's not very PC, but it's from a film called The Jazz Singer, and The Jazz Singer is a very famous film because it's the first ever movie with talking in it, and Al Jolson spoke the first ever words in cinema. And apparently in the cinema, they didn't know it was going to happen. And when he did, the cinema went crazy.
So if anyone on Twitter, anyone that follows us has got a more pretentious picture in their house, let us know on Twitter what it is and the backstory.
The annoying thing, you can't really see what that light box is, but it says applause. It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm basically upstairs in my home studio.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's very nice. Yeah, living the dream up there in your isolation. So obviously, all there really is to say is that they're going to have to repeat the season. Norwich are going to stay up. Liverpool aren't going to win the league. And everyone's going to be happy with that outcome. Chris, your comment?
I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, do you know what's funny about this whole thing is when things started really escalating, my initial thought, before I thought about money or my job or
your loved ones,
my loved ones' safety, I just thought the first thing, and this went on for a couple of weeks, and it was the only thing I was talking about when I was talking about it with other people, was what on earth is going to happen to the football. But then it did impact on my job, and I stopped really worrying about the football, and then I noticed that it was really serious and loads of people were dying and that it could be quite bad if you got it. So then after that, I stopped really worrying about my job and the money. So thoughts of what's going to happen with the Premier League, I used to Google it all the time to see the latest news on what they were speculating at.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't really care less. But if there ever was to be a very bizarre silver lining in this whole thing, it would be that Norwich stay in the Prem, because let's face it, we were going down.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think looking at the time frames, like let's say they start to ease lockdown in they've extended it for 3 weeks. Let's say they start to ease lockdown in, I don't know, whenever, end of May, June, beginning of July, like whenever it is. They're not going to go, right, we're easing lockdown and let's finish the Prem season, so let's get 20, 30,000 people together in stadiums again. Like that's going to be one of the later things to come back.
Of course. You can't stick tens of thousands of people in a football stadium.
No.
It's safe to go out now. You've got to keep your social distancing, but we're going to stick tens of thousands of people in a football stadium.
Exactly.
Football stadiums across the country.
So they could potentially finish the season behind closed doors, which would be a mess. But the longer it goes on for, the less wriggle room they're going to have to finish this season and get another season in. I think is the German model, the two teams who had gained automatic promotion in the league below get it. And then next year we would have a bigger season with a double relegation at the end of the season. I mean, it's impossible for me to be objective about it because obviously I'm a City fan and I'd love for us to stay.
I think you can. I think it's damage limitation because you're going to ruffle feathers no matter what you do, unless you somehow manage to finish the season in a normal way.
Yeah.
But even if they say, we'll let West Brom and Leeds come up and have a 22 team Premier League next season, you're going to annoy, I don't know, Forest and Fulham and teams who are still had a glimmer of a chance of the top two, even though it probably was maybe out of reach.
For sure.
I don't know how you decide. Well, you wouldn't decide the top four, but I think, for example, if you voided the season, Leeds and Brom would be,
Oh, of course.
They would go berserk. And rightly so. As much as I hate Leeds, that would be incredibly unfair. Likewise with Liverpool, they're 25 points clear or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think out of all those scenarios, I think the best one would be that, because you'd annoy a few teams in the top six in the champ, but that would be it.
Yeah. Agreed.
I doubt they're going to do that. And you could just sack off the FA Cup and the League Cup next season. But, from Norwich's point of view, we're in an FA Cup quarter-final. That's clearly not going to happen.
No. Yeah, our best run in God knows how many years.
It would be really harsh from Norwich's point of view if they played out the rest of the season, subsequently went down, but then didn't have the chance to compete in the FA Cup, which are in the quarterfinals of.
Yeah. No, they're going to have to either finish it or they're going to have to rerun it. Potentially with the 2 championship automatics added. The more I think about it, the more I think the larger Prem next year in a double relegation is the best of a bad situation, really.
Yeah.
Not for us, obviously. But then again...
There's no perfect answer, is there? There isn't one. They were talking about having some big thing at Wembley to finish the season with, but they're not going to do that across all divisions, surely.
No, I can't imagine it.
We're only really talking about the implications of the Premier League and the top of the Championship. Obviously, it goes all the way down, doesn't it?
Yeah. Of course, and and Europe-wide, worldwide, but particularly Europe-wide. This is going on with all the leagues in Europe. I mean, it's crazy, unprecedented stuff. Obviously, we've made a signing. We've made a signing, which we're going to talk about. But the other problem is, when this is over, coming out the other side, clubs are going to be talking about financial peril and being hard up. And obviously, Norwich love that line on a normal day. So we're clearly going to have the standard no money message shoved down our throats from our board.
You can imagine, because how Farker always post match, he always talks about the budget.
Yeah.
We had 1 million. He'll be going, the COVID-19 post coronavirus. Difficulties because of COVID.
Yeah, got no money. Yeah, so we're going to get peddled that no money thing as per usual, COVID or no, and we won't spend any money. And if we don't spend any money, any real money, then what will happen is we'll ship a ton of goals next year and finish rock bottom. We'll play the same football and ship 2 goals a game.
Wouldn't that be really funny? Wouldn't it be really funny if they did void the season and we had an even shitter season?
Yeah,
we're even worse.
On top of it, we've been even more worked out as being leaky as hell.
Just finished the season like 7 points.
Yeah,
it could happen.
So anyway, we've signed Daniel Sinani.
I guess
he's a Luxembourg international.
Mm.
I know nothing about him.
That's very honest of you. I hate the idea when you get these fans who, I like the look of him. Like, you've seen a YouTube highlight reel. What have you covered the games he's been playing in? Have you?
Let's be honest. How many people had heard of his club team? It's like it's got a number in it. It's like F54 or something. Like it's a Luxembourg team. It's like, come on, what is that? 7-a-side?
He could be good. He could be shit. But we've been looking at him for a long while.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's not like we haven't procured. Post Stuart Webber, we've done some great bargain acquisitions. Like, that's great. but we've not, we're going to have to do some weighty acquisitions to cut it in the Prem. I think that's obvious. But another interesting thing, I mean, God, it's so weird that there's actually football news, but one interesting thing was that Gary O'Neill, ex-Norwich player, was very critical of the club for the timing of announcing this signing, because obviously they're furloughing tons of staff, same as everywhere, and they're kind of saying, it's a bit insensitive to be announcing new signings when you're furloughing staff and the situation is probably so dire. I don't have a huge opinion on it, really.
All the Norwich fans seem to love Gary O'Neill, and they loved him at the time, and he was this kind of journeyman pro who laid it on the line, and he sort of had the same kind of...
He did the fundamentals well. He was one of those.
He had the same kind of vibe as Jordan Rose when Jordan Rose played for us. It's like, he's great. But two things he did that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
Firstly, I said something he didn't like on Twitter, on the Coop Duck Twitter, and he, retweeted with comment.
Nice.
And the backlash we got from that, we got so much shit from that. And to be honest, I think what I said was perfectly fair. And the second thing is he committed the most pointless red card foul I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Stoke. Game was very much in.
Middle of the park. Right in front of the away dugout. Or right in front of the opposition.
Halfway line, yeah. And he just went through, I can't remember who it was, got sent off immediately.
Yeah.
He then had to play, and we had a very light squad, and we were going on a run of a lot of fixtures. It was a very congested run of fixtures. So we had to play a whole half with 10 men, lost the game. Then as a result, we were knackered and went on a dreadful run after that, which really sealed our fate in the division that season. And you could argue that was largely down to that. It was just the most gratuitous foul I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was awesome in some respects, but not for us and our...
It'd been awesome if we got a yellow.
Survival.
Yeah, so... And now he's slagging off the club. So that's 3 strikes for me.
Yeah. No, I don't have a huge opinion on it. I mean, obviously the club's going to continue to do what it does. I mean, this guy, I think he signed a pre-contract to join us in July, right?
Yeah. He'll just have to come over, do a social distancing sort of thing with Weber, where he holds the shirt. Yeah. And then he'll go into quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I just think that any non-COVID news is great. Anything, particularly sports related.
Have you been watching the darts? Have you seen what they're doing with the darts?
No, you were telling me. I'd not seen it live.
It's so shit. Did you see WrestleMania?
No, they do it behind closed doors.
Yeah, it was mental.
Super weird.
What's mad is that the fighters would have just been able to hear the commentators.
Yeah, really weird. Well, and they were trying to do a UFC on an Indian game reserve.
That would be cool, though, because if they do it on, like, an island, they were talking about doing it on some remote island. That would have like such an Enter the Dragon vibe, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. But, yeah, I mean, and they knew what they were trying to do, because you've got... It would be the biggest pay-per-view stream of all time, because everyone's sitting at home doing.
Yeah, I'd cope with it with the UFC, because if you watch The Ultimate Fighter, you are used to seeing fights in that format with no crowd.
Yeah. But I do think. I mean, and they didn't get away with it, because I think Disney, which is like the parent company, stepped in and said no. How you can expect fighters to, it's just not cool, is it? Expecting fighters to, put training camps on where they got to roll with people.
Did you see Tony Ferguson? He's still weighed in. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Again, why not? Anything, just anything other than COVID-19 news is gold.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. But having said that, I hate that when they do things like try to carry on. It just reminds you of COVID-19 because you're seeing what you're used to seeing, but in a really weird format. Having said that, us doing this is exactly that. When you watch, have you seen Have I Got News for You?
No.
Just like 4 webcams.
Oh, really? Oh, no. No, I've not seen that.
Yeah, and there's no studio audience, so you can't hear anyone laughing. I'd rather not watch it. I'd rather watch On Top of the Pops 2.
Top of the Pops, old school. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just a really old grey whistle test, just to rerun. One thing I saw in the news is that farm foods got held up at gunpoint on Westwick Street. Yeah. Near
Norwich.
In Norwich, someone walked in at the moment during all this COVID craziness. Someone walked into farm foods just off Grapes Hill with a gun, threatened some lady, and got her to empty the safe. And they called armed police and all that jazz. I mean, like, it's a sick world, you know. I wonder if outside farm foods everyone was standing 2 meters. You know, you're in your fucking queue for the supermarket. Is that man got a balaclava and a fucking gun?
He could have just used, a tire to just,
Yeah, he probably just had a 3M healthcare face mask on.
Yeah, he probably walked in and they probably thought, oh, he's paranoid about getting it.
Do you think he waited his turn, or do you think he just strolled in? Everyone's like, "Oh, you're not waiting."
He genuinely could have been in the queue with a snood or whatever, a scarf over his face, and no one would have batted an eyelid.
Yeah, the one time, right?
And then when they get in there, she probably was really surprised when he pulled a gun. She probably thought he was a regular customer.
It's bang out of order. One thing that's really annoyed me. Are you going to the supermarket, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are no offers on. They know what they're doing. It's all dynamic pricing. There are no good offers on at the supermarket at the moment.
But when you go to Aldi, they have no offers anyway. Everything's on offer. It's just cheap.
Okay. Well, I've been to Asda, Sainsbury's. These Waitrose, I went to Waitrose the other day and spent too much money. There's no offers on. They're all doing record sales and groceries. They should be helping people out and putting on like bumper offers. You know what I mean? But they're not.
Well, that's the whole model of capitalism, is seizing the opportunity.
Yeah, can't make fucking damn boy. No, absolutely. But it just annoys me. You know what I mean? But yeah.
2 months ago, people were selling packs of 4 toilet roll on eBay for like 15 quid.
People are idiots. I mean, wash your bum, right? Straight in the shower. What's the problem? You don't even need toilet paper, really, in terms of an essential. I get
better not to use it, really.
Paracetamol's not going to help you. But yeah, I'm not into it. I'd own a bidet if I could. I don't. Yeah. Well, I do have space for it, but it's not in my plans. But I like a bidet or one of those invigorating hoses.
Super high pressure.
Yeah, they're all right. I was
going to say something. I've changed my mind.
Oh, they've probably sold out though, because I had to buy hair clippers, and it was hard to get hold of a pair. I ended up getting them from Sports Direct.
What are you drinking?
God bless you, Mike Ashton. Oh yeah, good question. I am drinking an IPA, but more importantly, it's not what I'm drinking; it's where I got it from. So a friend of ours, Danny, has got. He keeps the Rumsey Wells with his sister, and he's doing a beer drop thing, which is beerdrop.co, and they deliver craft beer and awesome pies to the Norwich area. So NR1 to NR7.
Same day delivery.
Same. It's like I ordered it. It was like there, and I ordered 10 beers, and they were there like an hour later. And because I had the wrong address on my PayPal, they took it to my old house and then brought it to my new house. But no, it's great. Yeah. So I've been imbibing. Look at that, ease up. Lovely. A colleague of mine, his wife works for what's the brewery? It's not Elgood's. I've lost it, but she works for a big-ish brewery, and they've done record off sales. So off sales is all the booze they don't sell in pubs. Marsden's, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I can't remember if this is the exact number, the exact time frame, but it was something like they've sold 4.5 million pints in a week in supermarkets, shops, mail order, all that, because we're all just drinking.
I'm drinking every night.
I'm drinking every night. I never drink every night.
It's really bad.
It's great. I mean, it's a good boredom.
What else are you going to do? I mean, you just have to.
5 o'clock is beer o'clock.
I last a bit later than that. I last till 6.
Your dad's taken up alcoholism.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Albert of Norwich, hey.
Yeah, bless him. Maybe we'll get him on one of these.
Yeah, what? We could back by popular demand. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we could do.
Yeah.
What else have we got to talk about?
Well, the beer drop thing, I'd just say, like, I know that... Like
I got mine from Adnams. I'm really sorry, but it was dirt cheap. It was like 28 cans of Mosaic. No, 24 cans of Mosaic for 28 quid.
It's Dan you have to apologise to, not me. But no, I would say, I know that Harvey's Butchers, Archers, like a lot of the local butchers are doing meat boxes. Like all the local businesses are doing takeouts. Some of the pubs doing beer hatches. I would just say to people, try and use like some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's local businesses. People have just lost their incomes. Completely lost their incomes overnight. And, you know, Asda's going to be fine at the end of the day, but your local butcher or your local kind of fruit and veg place or whatever might not be. So, yeah, if people can, they should try and do that.
Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
On the Norwich YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
They are posting classic games. So they've recently, I think today they put up the playoff semi-final home leg against Ipswich, which we won 3-1.
Oh, yeah. That
was a belter.
Was it 3-1? Oh, yeah, it was 3-1.
Yeah, it was. Redmond took a shot. It was handballed on the line. Red cards, down to 10 men. Wes steps up, scores the penalty.
Yeah.
They equalise.
Yeah.
And Redmond scores to make it 2-1. Then Jerome puts it to bed. It's mad to think of that squad, you know, with the exception of Alex Tetty, it's completely different. It's not that long ago.
No.
They put up the Norwich Borough game 4-4. They put up the Forest game 3-3, and they put the Millwall one up.
Yeah.
What was your favourite?
See,
out of those,
I'd go the Forest, the 3-3. I know the Millwall was just unreal. The fact that we won it, the fact that we took all three. But there was something about the Forest game. You know, we were so dead in bed. It was 83 minutes. We were 3-0. 81.
No. This is the thing. It was like 78 minutes. We were 3-0 or something like that. We went 3-1. There was like 12, 13 minutes left. But this is the mad thing. In the 93rd minute, it was still 3-1.
That was it. Yeah.
93rd and a half or something.
I just, you know, even I sometimes watch the. I sometimes, watch the highlights, occasionally cry. And
that one always makes me cry. Oh, no, Hernandez scoring that equaliser.
Yeah.
I remember at the time I thought a bomb had gone off in the stadium.
Yeah.
I've never heard noise like it.
Nuts. And the look on Farke's face, how pumped he is. You know, it was just unreal.
It just unreal. Makes me cry every time.
I even like watching the Sky Sports News.
Oh, yeah.
From it, you know what I mean? Because they say no way back for Norwich. Yeah, because they say like at 3-0 or 3-1, oh, no way back for Norwich now, you know. That was
the other moment from last season is more than any other that really brings a tear to my eye is the Vrancic free kick against Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because clutch. What a clutch goal. I mean, last kick of the game. The fact that he took the contact, it was really... the ref had to give a free kick, but he ran over his leg totally.
Yeah.
But Vrancic is such a laid-back dude, such, a bit of a slick Rick. But the emotion on his face when he's running in front of the crowd, he's grabbing his shirt and he's going absolutely
It was incredible. It was the greatest season ever, I think. If I think about,
but that's what's so sad about it, is that the fact that we've had such a shit season really kind of takes away from it a little, you know?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Because it was the great, and when you consider how well Sheffield United have done.
Yeah, I know.
It's been painful.
Yeah, it has. And also, I suppose what it is we've had no comebacks. You know, last year, it was just constant comeback magic. You know, we'd concede goals and we'd outgun teams. The amount of times we had multi-goal bonanzas, we just had we had 10 years worth of magic in one season, and this season we had next to none. Every time we've gone a goal down, that's been us. We've always looked flat and contained at the end of games. You know, last year we were always in the ascendancy at the end of games, always putting people to the sword at the end of games. This year it's been the kind of the opposite. You know, there's been...
Maybe it's because the teams are like loads better.
Exactly. And the fact is, look at how many times we've conceded 2 goals or more this year. If you go 2-0 down in the Prem, it is very, very unlikely that you're going to win or draw. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad thing, is that we were conceding tons of goals last season. At home as well, you know, we conceded 3 against Millwall, 3 against Forest, 4 against Derby, you know, 2 against teams like Bolton, who are shit. You know, when we came into the Premier League with the same defence and didn't think we were going to leak a ton of goals.
Yeah.
But anyway, we won't go into that, really.
No, but it was my favourite. I mean, obviously, beating Borough at Wembley to go up under Alex Neil was special. You know, that was an incredible day.
But there was no expectation going into, if you consider the season we'd had before, where we'd finished lower mid-table with Farker.
Yeah.
And then we sold our best player in James Maddison, that there was no expectation going into that season.
No.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It was like a dream.
Yeah, it was unreal. But so, you know, who knows what the future will bring.
Okay, I'll throw one thing at you, right?
Yeah.
They decide to finish the season with a big game of World Cup singles or World Cup doubles.
Right.
If it's World Cup singles, who do you pick? And if it's World Cup doubles, who do you pick?
Okay. So World Cup singles, is that end-to-end, 1 versus 1?
No, it's everyone against everyone and a goalkeeper. Imagine you have Alisson in goal. Just say you've already given Liverpool the league. So you have Alisson in goal, and then it's 19 other outfield players, 1 from each team representing, and they're all shooting 1 goal.
Well, I guess for us, you'd have to put Emmy in.
Yeah.
And hope that he doesn't sulk. You know? Doubles.
Emmy
and Timu, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Timu is, you know, and they lace up. I mean, how many assists has Emmy given Timu? A gang.
That's what I'd go, actually.
If Onel was completely healthy and in his prime, I might think about it.
He'd be great in World Cup singles.
Yeah, such a specimen, but he's not. Obviously, you know, I think the reality for Onel is he's really been struggling with. You know, he probably came back from the injury early, and he's clearly struggled with it and struggled with form as a result. Bless him, you know what I mean?
So as a result, he's not being picked for this hypothetical game of World Cup singles.
Exactly.
He'll be
I suppose you think about Todd, but no, I'll go Timu and Emmy. How about you?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think we can wrap this up.